We're given that z is equal to x minus y over the square root of 2. And we want to see what is the probability that z is between -1 and -3. X and y are normal random variables with means root 2 and 1, and standard deviations 1 and root 2, respectively. So we want to find the expected value of z, the variance of z, and the probability. Okay, first, we know that x is a normal distribution variable, and so the form that we're going to use is mean and standard deviation squared. So the mean we're given is root 2, and the standard deviation is 1, so we square 1 to get also 1. Now y is also a normal random variable. The mean for y is 1. The standard deviation is root 2 for y. So if I square that, I get 2. First, let's find the expected value of z. Well, z we said is x minus y over root 2. Now the expected value is linear, so we can break this up into expected value of x minus y over the expected value of 2. And I can factor out the 1 over root 2 in front of the expected value of y. And at this point, the expected value of x is just the mean of x, which we said is root 2. And then the expected value of y we said is 1. So this is the expected value of z, but we want it in three digits, so 3 decimal places. So that's going to be 0.707. All right, next we want to find the variance of z. So variance of z, well, z we said is x minus y over root 2. And I can think of the subtraction as just adding a negative. So then I can split this up into variance of x plus variance of negative y over root 2. Now, the variance of x is this one. It's a standard deviation squared, which is 1. And I can factor out the negative 1 over root 2. But when I factor that out for the variance, I have to square it. And so I'm left with variance of y. The variance of y is a standard deviation squared, which we said here is 2. So we have 1 plus. Now negative 1 squared is 1. Root 2 squared is 2. Variance of y we said is 2. These are going to cancel. I'm left with 1 plus 1, which is 2. So the variance of z is going to be 2. Last step, I want to find the probability of z being between -1 and -3. So this is a little confusing because you should really think of it as -3 and -1, since -3 comes first. So that's probability -3 is less than z, less than -1. Now, the problem here is the notation. Z is usually used for standard normal. So the mean 0, standard deviation 1. But here, I'm going to use the notation z sub s as the standard normal variable z. So recall that z is equal to x minus mu over the standard deviation. So the good thing is we just calculated that for the first two parts. But first, I can split this up into probability z is less than -1 minus our probability that z is less than -3. And now I can introduce a standard normal variable. I'm going to take -1 subtracted by the mean, which we said was 0.707, divided by the standard deviation. Now, the variance we said was 2, so the standard deviation will be the square root of that. And we want to subtract this by the standard normal variable z less than -3 minus the mean, which we said is 0.707, divided by the standard deviation. At this point, you can use one of the tables or your calculator, but recall that we want to use 4 digits for the last answer. So the 4 digits, I think, refers to the decimal point. So let's look at that. First, we can simplify this. So this will be negative 1.207 minus probably ZS is less than negative 2.621. So this will be good for using the tables. And then, because we want it to 4 decimal places, I'm going to put 4 decimal places for this one, and then 4 decimal places for the other one. So when I subtract these two, I get 0.1093 as my final answer.